Vamos a ver qué tal.
So, here. First, try praying instead of just hoping. That might work better for you. Metaphysically, the battle is already over. Sapadal is free, and the Dream Scourge is gone. But politically, we have a... I intend to send... Anyway. Good advice. Besides, don't... You too.
You probably... This is... You said it. Anyway. Talk to you later, envoy.
We should take a moment to acknowledge you liberated the god of the living lands. Now they are unchained, free to do whatever they want. That's quite a gamble you... I admire your confidence. If not for you, Sapadal would still be pacing their cage like a wild animal. Which means you have leverage over a god. How do you plan on using it? You're probably better off then. Stop. We cannot... Anytime. Maybe you'll... I hope... You're too kind. I want you to know until... Pleasant dreams. Do you know anyone from the Handicott?
I know a lot of people.
Estoy ya cansado, ¿eh? ¿Cuántas horas llevamos? Casi 10 horas de directo.
Why do you ask?
I was wondering what they think of our situation.
I'm not sure.
A ver, esto lo tenemos a tope, ¿no? No, me falta una pizca. Piel de dragón, nos faltan 7 de piel de dragón. No. Pero a ver cuánto le queda a esto.
Maybe they just want to see how it all plays out.
Probably.
Voy a estar un rato más a ver cuánto le queda. Si es que no le puede quedar mucho. Nos ha faltado una habilidad de estas. ¿O es que ahora ya no tenemos eso? No, esto lo teníamos antes, lo que pasa es que lo habrán mejorado. ¿Qué será este? Sustituye toque onírico, vale. Tenemos ya todas las habilidades.
Envoy? Is it really you?
Mihala
Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Makutadek? It's too preposterous to believe. How could a plague be ended by speaking with a god?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak. It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened?
Sapadal was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
So you say. But Shatterscarp is still littered with dream thralls, and Temerty is still pacing her room, muttering in the dark.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but.
Wodka no doubt saw Sapadal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart Paradise? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
Naku Tedek was riven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
Similar roots had infected the structures at Naku Kubel. If they and the Dream Scourge were really the work of a god, and the gods thought it best to imprison this god, how
Porque
could
me
you
sale de los
let
huevos.
such a creature go free?
Altruism is fertile ground for folly, I've found.
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapadal. We'll have nothing to fear from this.
Having Sapadal at our beck and call might be to our advantage. I'd like to see Rawatai try to stand toe-to-toe against a god.
Keeping watch over Sapadal was a sacred task Nandru gave us when he left. For that reason alone, my wardens owe them their allegiance.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back in the bottle now. But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. The Steel Garret Inquisitor Ludwine has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Ludwine's run through the militia like a whirlwind.
All right, let's keep the similes to ourselves.
Oh, cheer up. You wouldn't be the first to make that mistake. Might not be. So long as her passion for Wodka lives.
Then we destroy her faith? I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it.
¿Otra vez al
good.
campamento?
It is not, I think... Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen. It was Ludwine who called for...
I didn't hear an answer, Ambassador.
She and her steel garrote laid siege to the city, shortly after you beat her to the garden.
We've had no news from inside. From what we can observe, southern Paradise is in pieces, and the
Is there nothing our people...
given the state of our supply routes after the Dream Scourge, and the Steel Garrote's destruction, we expect the people trapped inside will run short of fresh food and clean water.
The lawful settlement of a new Adiran colony, suppose, or the established. She could win with a godlike in her ranks. Your presence would serve as a Somewhere inside that hollow head of hers, I believe she always hoped she'd turn. Remember, she has an obligation to Wodka, a solemn oath. and neither the Steel Garrote nor the Queen that was look kindly upon Oathbreakers. Ludwig has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding... Before you face Ludwig, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must... But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Oh, Envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. There would be reprisals. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your own. It would be difficult. No, impossible. Think of your people, all of you. Think...
Though I'm hardly eager to work with any of you, I like the idea of twisting beneath Adir's boot heel, so long as the Wardens can continue our vigil. I'm open to uniting.
Thirdborn alone couldn't stand against the storm. But the might of all of us, together, we could deter any but the most fearsome adversaries.
With the Envoy's support, we'd have a god in our pocket. What could the Emperor do? When my people return to Fjord, we could create such miracles of animancy.
Risk into bounty. Does the winter frost dissuade the seeds? Many fruits on our back. We graft many leaves into...
Of course. The Living Lands would become an extension of the Adiran Empire in leadership and law. Soldiers bearing the flag of Adir would be garrisoned in every town. They would be paid in Adiran shelling and speak only the Adiran language. Their roads would be smooth Adiran roads. Their medicine would be hygienic Adiran medicine. And their weapons would be efficient Adiran weapons. Our customs would become their customs. Our strengths would become their strengths. Our emperor would become their emperor. Turned toward a common purpose. No one, not Rawatai, not the Valian republics, not even a rogue god, would dare attack the Living Lands. This island would be safe for the first time in its history. And
the traditions of Solus are what give my Wardens their strength. Without them, I would sooner walk my people into the acid sea than trust an Adiran to hold me up.
The only threat I see on the horizon comes from Adir itself. They can't...
Under Adiran rule, your countrymen would strip my people of everything that makes them unique. All I cannot be...
The Adder's promise. Flip our feathers as we find our wings. The deed binds as though to drown us. Why were we set free?
of course. The Living Lands would retain its own laws under a grave appointed by the Emperor. The grave would be expected to promote and develop the Living Lands to our mutual benefit. They would divide the island into administrative districts and see them governed by mayors appointed from the local communities. The island would provide tribute in the form of resources and taxes, and in times of war, soldiers. The Empire, I should note, is nearly always at war. In return, the Living Lands would enter Adir's sphere of influence, and should outside nations attempt to invade, we would come to the Grave Room's aid. Naturally, that would be the Emperor's decision. But only the strong survive the frontier. I used to believe, but you were born to rule. You're the obvious choice.
We give up our fighters and the wealth of our lands, and get promises in return. But we have wealth enough to give some away, if it means my wardens may return to their vigil in peace.
A grave room wouldn't be my first choice, but we're going to need a hand with
Vamos
all
a
the
intentar
dream
buscar
thralls
algo
left in
entre medio, ¿no?
Shatterscarp. So if the
Sí,
Emperor
Pavía.
is willing to
Estamos
pitch
a ver si
in,
terminamos.
then
Ahora estamos con
I
política,
guess so am I.
With the
ver,
Dream
perdón.
Scourge ended, my people can soon
Venga, Johnny, que
return to
descanses.
Fjord. If a renewed animancy could easily feed the island, I suppose we could send Adir what's left. But when lean times come, who will we feed first? Ourselves or the Empire?
Subtle, pernicious. Cut the rot, yet the disease remains. Safety among spiders. A web gleaming with dew. They weave, they wait.
Tribute, he says. Taxes, soldiers. The Empire has tried it all before. Look to the Eastern Reach if you don't believe me. They want to bleed us dry, to fill their coffers and fight their wars, to break us like wild animals. But I will not bend.
It's still a gamble, but I think it's the safest bet. We'd get the benefits of Imperial trade and protection without losing all of what makes this place special. There's no way of knowing what it would mean in another generation or two. But right now, it gives us the security and stability to recover.
We were fine before Adir showed up, and we'll be fine when they're gone. Trust the lands and her people, Envoy.
If we give Adir power over us, we can't be surprised if they decide to flex it later.
Buah.
Well, let's not twiddle our thumbs while Paradis burns.
No sé qué hacer. No sé qué hacer. Bueno, aquí va. O sea, tenemos o convertirnos en una colonia del Imperio, no me gusta. Porque sería eso, rendirnos y aceptar las costumbres y todo lo de Adir. No me gusta. Establecer un Grefan, que sería dejarme a mí como líder de las tierras salvajes, por así decirlo, que cada una mantenga su independencia, pero responderían con tributos y demás al Imperio. La 3 es independencia total y absoluta, es decir, luchar contra Adir, pero eso significa que luego podrían venir a intentar invadirnos. Y luego dejar que... O sea, el 5 descartado, porque no vamos a apoyar a Ludwig. Y el 4, que voten los líderes. O sea, el 2, lo del Grefan, es como tener un representante y darles tributos, soldados, darles impuestos, soldados y supplies. Pero también tiene lo bueno de pues el comercio con Adir y tal. Entonces no sé. Ay, perdón. Ahí se ve, ¿no? ¡Hombre, Ferry! La democracia ha probado que nunca funciona. ¡Yeja, pájaro! Pavía elige guerra. ¿Nos hacemos independientes? ¿Luchamos por la independencia de las tierras vivas? Las tierras vivientes. ¿Luchamos por la independencia? Digo que... Voy a dejar que voten los líderes. Creo que voy a dejar que voten los líderes. Va.
Envoy, be reasonable. This is not a good idea. Give these people an ounce of agency, and there's no telling what they'll do. Well, let's not twiddle our thumbs while Paradise burns.
¿Podemos hacer F5 aquí? No. No puedo. ¿Le hago caso a Pavía y lucha? No, no he cortado la raíz todavía.
Envoy, be reasonable.
Va.
Give the... Wodika, have mercy on my soul. Well, what will the illustrious...
So this is what I want. I would prefer we keep to ourselves as we have, but if it will take all of us to repel your people, a united living lands it is.
Thirdborn can't clean up Shatterscarp alone. I'll take the Emperor's soldiers, and in exchange, a grave room.
Standing tall together, the Living Lands could be the envy of the world. I am for a united Living Lands.
Well, it's hardly unanimous, but the majority shall rule. This shall be a united living lands.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Vamos a la
battle
guerra.
together is easy. I just hope everyone's willing to stick it out when it comes to the politics.
God, they made the right decision for once.
Finally, some sense permeates the proceedings.
On your head be the consequences. That leaves the matter of Ludwine and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradise, and eventually the island.
The Living Lands will never be free until we break the chain around our necks. Ludwine must die her final...
She better say her goodbye.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy.
Let's get to work then. We got a walking corpse to...
The Paradise militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Thank you for deserving it. Now, go.
Show them that the living lands will not be broken across Vodka's knee.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern. May all the gods of Eora and the Living Lands protect.
Let's take back the city together. Show the Steel Garrote.
Time to stop this.
Que sí, que vamos a dar hostias. Copón, que no esté nada más quedándome la murga. Venga de cháchara, copón, que son las 12:30 de la noche, que es la 1 ya. Déjate de casquera y vamos a romper cabezas y desterrar esqueletos y todo lo... A ver, ¿qué quieres, Mario?
You should get some sleep. Well, I'm just fine. I've been putting... You know, I'll be all right.
Can't sleep? We're going into battle. Your political influence is dangerous. If you want, when a god like the Adir, this is all we ask from Mutai for a polit when he... I'm glad. In truth? By staying alive, of course. Can you imagine? Not before I've done some reading.
Well, Oh, truly?
Esto es del Señor de los Anillos.
Don't mind if I do.
I can't wait to give the Steel Garrote a piece of my mind.
Just say the word.
Vale, pues no tenemos más mierda. Bueno, podemos mejorar esto.
Let me think. I can't.
Vámonos de fiesta. ¿Cuánto queda? Yo... No. Nos vamos a la guerra.
Just like the good old days.
Hola, bonicos. Espérate que se recargue la habilidad y volvemos. Dame 30 segundos más, por favor. Hostia, ¿habéis visto lo que ha durado? Hombre.
Let the worst come. I am ready.
Aquí ahora vamos con todos. Ahora vamos con todos, chaval. Hostia, qué guay. Oli. Ay, que me lo han quitado ahora. Me lo han cortado.
Paradise has really gone downhill.
No time to waste.
Hombre, no es muy listo poner lo del cierre de las puertas fuera. Espérate, vamos a ponerlo esto así para que no le maree a Pavía. Hostia, es verdad, podemos probar una cosa. Ah, que este es de los míos. Estoy intentando darle a uno que es bueno. Oli.
Stop right there.
Que no cures a la gente, hostia, que si no, no las puedo matar. Hola, Omega Huete, bonico. No, me es más cómodo así. Lo siento.
What are you doing here?
Juliana, ¿qué pasa? ¿Que las frutillas se quedan aquí en la ciudad?
Envoy. I doubted it seems I do some. I hope.
We should go now, while the fighting's died down.
Can you not hear the screaming outside?
She's right. We can't go now. Then when? Should we wait till the Garrote set this bar alight?
I knew it. As soon as I saw...
Thank God I never...
Envoy, am I ever glad to see you. Good luck out there, Envoy.
Claro, hermanicos. No os preocupéis, ya me encargo yo del garrote.
Get that.
You're mine now.
That's done? Who's hungry?
Mira la healer.
Envoy over here. What exactly do you...
Liviana.
You nearly died in my clinic. Correction, you did die. And now look at you. What have you got to say? Well, at least you're alive. Kai, is this your...
Come on. I couldn't have kept him out of the action if I wanted to.
I knew you were a bad influence. We're patching up folks as best we can, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. War is a damn blood... Yeah, stop. I can't say I approve. Gods be with you, Envoy.
Come on. You know this. You practiced with Uncle Capo 100 times. Tight, but not too tight. You don't want to cut off the blood flow.
Hombre, chico.
I may not be a hero, but I can still save somebody's life.
Mira, no pensaba que volvería a ver a chico.
I can't afford to let her down.
Espabila, chiquillo, que la vida te va a comer. Es lo único que te puedo decir. ver, podríamos bajar.
Envoy, welcome to the right side of this. Get on! Your days are numbered.
¡Adiós! ¿Qué es eso? ¿Quién está invocando a los siervos oníricos?
I'll stay behind. Just don't do anything foolish.
That'll teach you. Glorious battle.
You'll be lucky to make it out of here alive.
¿Pero quién cojones está invocando ahora a los siervos oníricos?
And fall!
Let's pay Ludwig one final visit, shall we?
Lead on. I'm with you to the end.
She could use some payback for Naku Bell, don't you think? Let's make sure she stays dead this time.
Bueno, esa es tu opinión.
There you are.
So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? Our conflict was foretold the moment you were born. You can no more avoid it than I can die. Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed.
Her order wields sharp steel.
You can tell Wodaka yourself once we've sent you back to...
Don't insult my intelligence or my commitment to the cult. Treaties can be burned. The hands which shook over whatever deal you... As for you, Sapadal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I'd... Do not patronize me. I have every right to put down a threat to the Empire. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
Really, Envoy? You think the delusional theories of a failed animancer are enough to scare me? Then allow me to teach you the meaning of fear.
Let's finish this. Together.
Vamos a por la esquelética.
You won't be missed, Ludwig.
Once I'm done killing you...
Venga, Rina, descansa.
Your god of blame!
We are every seed in the soil. We will always grow.
Be prepared. No more.
Come on, let's kill her already. One last time.
He's ahead. Masan Sude.
Queen among queens! Send to your aid!
Se ha transformado en Super Saiyan. Que me tira un full roda, dice. Pues toma, full roda. Vaya. Igual se han pasado una pizca, ¿eh?
Masan Sude. He's ahead. He's ahead. Masan Sude.
Where are you? No! Don't abandon me now!
Toma, parry. Hostia puta, ¡Wow! Se ha puesto tensita, la cosa.
Wherever Ludwine is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done. But we're not.
¿Tú elegiste esto también, Fleischer?
Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together. Gods, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our
Ahora
flesh.
sí, paramos la raíz.
We are free always. We are free forever.
Hostia.
Silence falls over Paradise, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradise militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The Dream Scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. Thanks to you, the Living Lands has escaped Adiran oppression. The free settlements unite under a common banner and begin the fraught process of negotiating new traditions and values. The Empire withdraws. The frontier remains wild, but not for long. Fugitives no more. The rebels of Paradise return to their home and to other free settlements, bringing their skills and secrets wherever needed. For once, they have a future. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. In time, the people of Emerald Stair return to their city of Fior Messiverno. Research yields new developments in the struggle against nature. Technology is shared among the united settlements. The Empire cannot get in the way of progress. Though free, Shatterscarp is still haunted by the surviving Dream Thralls after the destruction of Naku Kubel. The routine hunt for the remaining monsters becomes part of Thirdborn's everyday life, another chore atop a hardscrabble existence with few comforts. The youthful make a game of the hunt, retrieving artifacts from the dead to return to those they left behind. Solace Keep clings to its long-held isolation at first. But after mourning her friend Kostya, Mihala reluctantly deigns to open the doors of the fortress. Some dwarves greet newcomers with glee. Others still mutter darkly about outsiders. Mihala flounders in her earliest negotiations with the rest of the living lands, but slowly learns compromise. She develops a taste for Valian sweets. For the first time in many years, Kai feels an agreeable restlessness. Not to flee, not to drift, but to venture. He visits the distant shores Tama told him about, and savors the modern marvels, ancient wonders, and breathtaking expanses he beholds. His heart swells, not with grief, but with awe. There is so much to discover, and he will spend his years chasing all of the joy and beauty the world has to offer him. With many of his anxieties and lifelong fears addressed, Marius now feels very differently than he did when he first met the envoy. Still far more comfortable in the wilds than among people.
Y Marius también, sí que molan todos los personajes.
His worries about the unknown were merely self-protection against the traumas of his childhood. Armed with this knowledge, he finds himself more capable of living in civilization, and far less fearful of his home in Galawain's tusks. While he never regains his former place as a warden of Solace, he spends his time traveling between Solace and Thirdborn, acting as a stubborn ambassador between the two. Giada continues to improve as an animancer. She dedicates her work to the spiritual health of the living lands, nurturing instead of exploiting. Others follow her example, seeking her tutelage from lands far and wide. In the years to come, rumors spread of a secret society gathering in the wilderness, where animancers work in harmony with nature. The dream of Fior Mes Iverno lives on in her.
Que en lugar de explotar la naturaleza,
Yardsley was given a task: protect the history and knowledge of the godless. Now, many lifetimes later, she continues upholding that oath. She moves into the library in the garden, spending her days poring over the clay tablets there. But not even the letters from, and rare visit to, her lover help ease the loneliness that fills her days.
Jo, qué mierda esto también.
Freed from torment for the first time in centuries,
Tendríamos que haber dicho que se fuese
turns
con
their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated. Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Sapadal pours a fragment of their power into the statue they claimed from the temple of Aethys. Newly embodied, they roam the living lands and learn to experience the world as Kith do.
Mira.
Their first attempts at locomotion are clumsy, and a stand of innocent trees is violently returned to the wheel. But as their confidence grows, so does their grace. Soon, they are bounding across the plains of eastern Dawnshore, leaping the river gorge in Emerald Stair, scaling the shark's teeth of Shatterscarp, and fearlessly wading into the Tusk's acid sea. When they break, they come to you to put them back together. And in time, they learn to fix themselves. They wander far afield. You see less of them, but they are never far from your thoughts. And on the rare occasion they return, they always bring you something beautiful and strange. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie.
Hombre, podría haber dicho que la furra se fuese con, o sea, quedarse en Flor Mes Iverno, por
You take a
ejemplo.
moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.
Pero sí, el final de que consiguió para la furra no me ha gustado. Pero me ha gustado, el juego en general me ha molado mucho, ¿eh? Mira los créditos, ¿eh? No, me ha gustado mucho. Es cierto que hay zonas y partes de la historia que se hace un poco denso y que da pereza leerte todo el texto, toda la historia y demás. Pero en general es un juego muy, muy chulo, me ha gustado bastante. Y sobre todo muy original. Los personajes están muy bien escritos y demás. Y ahora sí que es hora de irnos a mimir.